My name is Eric Skrzynski, and you're listening to episode number 003 of Gut Reactions. Hey everybody, today's episode is going to be pretty unique. I'm going to be answering a couple would you rather questions related to the horror genre, and I hope it's something you'll be interested in. We have a couple really special episodes coming on, some with some very special guests, and so before we get heavy into some film criticism and reviews, I really want to just take a kind of fun episode. I think this will be a great way to kind of discuss some films that we may not get to for a couple episodes, but you may want to hear some thoughts on. So we'll get into that shortly. But before we do that, I guess I'll talk about what I've been watching, even though it has been a rough week for me. I was only able to watch 2 complete films, and they were both What Were They Thinking sequels. The first was Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
Many faces. Death wears many different masks. But pure evil wears only one. And this is your final chance to see it. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
Now, this movie has been getting a lot of love lately in a lot of Facebook groups I'm in, and a lot of people are defending this movie and saying if you don't look at it as a Friday the 13th movie, it's pretty solid. No. Oh man, I mean, first of all, I can't not think of a Friday the 13th movie as a Friday the 13th movie. When you flip on a Friday the 13th movie, no matter what you're told beforehand, you want to see Jason Voorhees, plain and simple. And honestly, the first 5 or 6 minutes of this film delivers on that in a big way. But then he disappears, and the rest of the movie is this body-swapping demon garbage with the bounty hunter. It's horrible. People that complain about Jason X need to reconsider, because at least that film delivered on the concept. This film is a mess. I have nothing to say about this movie. The other I watched was a little more decent. I watched Halloween Resurrection for the first time.
Tomorrow night, you will enter the childhood home of our most brutal mass murderer. The home has been rigged up with several cameras, but for the most part, the audience will see only what you see.
Are you sure they're not just putting us in some house with hidden cameras in the shower?
This is gonna be fun.
The windows will be boarded up and all the doors will be locked shut behind them. No one will be allowed to leave until the show is over. Let the dangertainment begin.
You think this is the one that he used to, do his thing? One flash and you could light up 1,000 computer screens.
You are like this close to getting voted off the island. Wait, what just happened? We just lost Bill's camera. There's somebody in the hall. Michael's here!
Somebody please help us.
Hello, Michael. I knew you'd come sooner or later. What took you so long?
Trick or treat, mother.
That was the 2003 sequel. Man, it opens really, really strong. Looking past the fact that they kind of took away all the power that H2O had with its ending. I won't spoil anything, but Halloween Resurrection quickly undoes everything that mattered about that movie. But looking past that and just the way it was directed and shot, there's some pretty good scary sequences in the first 10 minutes. And then it just changes gears into this really terrible early 2000s generic teen slasher. Yeah, it's just rough. It's got some interesting ideas. Basically, the premise is that these kids get cast into this reality TV show, kind of a Big Brother type thing, except for the house they're in is the house that Michael Myers grew up in. And so you have these producers that are kind of setting it up to be this creepy kind of horror show, and it's going to stream out online. And I mean, it's better than it sounds, but it's not much better. Yeah, I just feel really deflated from these last 2 movies. The only thing I watched that I really enjoyed was I rewatched a little bit of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2. I say a little bit because I was trying to watch it with my wife, and she cannot handle the gore factor on that show. I love it. I've watched Season 1 and Season 2 all the way through a couple different times. For those that have watched without spoiling anything, we are about midway through Season 2. So fans of the show, you'll know what that means, and all the cool moments that are starting to happen. Anyway, I totally dropped the ball on the last episode of the podcast. In the first episode, when I was laying out the format, one of the things I talked about was doing a bloody good movie, which is kind of a pick of the week. And the last episode, for whatever reason, that totally slipped my mind to do. So I'm going to take the movie I was going to bring up, and it was actually in my notes for episode 2. But anyway, I didn't talk about it. I'm going to bring it up for this one and make this my bloody good movie. The bloody good movie is Texas Chainsaw. I recently revisited it while introducing it to a friend. I had seen it earlier this year, but watching it again for whatever reason, that movie just stands out more and more each time. And it's one of the most beautiful horror movies, beautifully shot. It takes full advantage of that Texas landscape. It's just a beautiful, beautiful film. And you don't usually hear the word beautiful when talking about a Texas Chainsaw movie, but man, this movie's gorgeous. Genuinely terrifying, genuinely scary, and a must-watch for horror fans. So if you're looking for a movie to watch this week, my official recommendation is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing listening to this episode? Stop this. Go watch that. Watch the sequel. Hey, even watch the remake. But anyway, so that's what I've been watching. Sorry it was kind of lean this week. And that is our bloody good movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now let's get into our topic. There's an article I came across recently entitled 50 Would You Rather Questions That Will Drive Horror Fans Crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this and see if it will in fact drive me crazy, or if it's just going to be a pretty basic quiz. I read through it and just glanced, so I haven't read through the entire thing, read every question, or thought about this beforehand. I'm just going to go ahead and go through these and see what happens as we go. So, number 1, would you rather be stalked by Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger? I don't know. I feel like my chances are pretty rough with either one. Probably Michael Myers, because I would assume once I get out of the area, he's not able to find me. Freddy Krueger's there, whether I'm awake or asleep. I'd rather be stalked by Michael Myers. I enjoy sleep too much, so I feel like Freddy Krueger would kind of put a kink in that plan. Number 2, would you rather have every horror movie ever streaming on Netflix all the time, or get a free steak dinner once per month? Well, I don't have Netflix, so this question is pretty easy. I would probably have Netflix, though, if every horror film ever was streaming there. I feel like I have Shudder for this, though, and they have a good amount. I do like steak. I'm going to go every horror movie streaming on Netflix, and I'll guess renew my Netflix subscription in this scenario. Would you rather be young enough to go trick-or-treating again, or old enough to go behind your porch and scare the crap out of them? I am old enough to go behind the porch and scare the crap out of them, but I don't see the joy in that. I guess young enough to go trick-or-treating, but I've never been trick-or-treating, so this question's kind of irrelevant. Number 4, would you rather have every brilliant director add their own take to Halloween, or have the original left alone forever? You know what? I feel like I'm going to get hate for this. I love Rob Zombie's remake.
Behind these eyes, one finds only darkness. These are the eyes of a psychopath.
This August, Rob Zombie unleashes an extreme vision of terror and reinvents a legend. Halloween.
If this question would mean that the original Left Alone Forever would take away Rob Zombie's remake, then I'm going to have to go with every brilliant director add their own take. Besides, I like the original Halloween, but I feel like there's a lot you could do with it and a lot of stylistic choices you could make that aren't there in the original. So I'm going to have to go every brilliant director add their own take. We can have the original. I like the original. but I wouldn't mind seeing some other versions of it. Would you rather have it be Halloween year-round or only once a year so you could savor it? Only once a year so I can justify binging horror movies every day for a month to my wife. Would you rather have George Romero direct one more movie or Alfred Hitchcock? I have to go with George Romero. I'd much rather see another one of his dead films than another Alfred Hitchcock movie. I feel bad about that answer. No, I don't. I love George Romero. Would you rather spend a night in the Overlook Hotel with Jack Torrance or the high school gym during prom with Carrie? I mean, statistically, more people escape the Overlook Hotel than escape the high school gym during the prom with Carrie, so I'm going to go with the Overlook Hotel. It's a big place. I feel like I could hide pretty easily there. Would you rather have your memory wiped? Oh, this is number 8. Sorry, I'm supposed to number these. Would you rather have your memory wiped so you can enjoy seeing your favorite horror film again for the first time or have a new sequel made? I guess it depends on the franchise. I love sequels. I'm one of those few people that does, so I'm always down for a new sequel. Like Friday the 13th, I'd love to see a sequel more than I would love to see any of them for the first time again. I would love to see Night of the Living Dead for the first time again, though. So it really just depends on the movie. Would you rather be abducted by aliens or chased by a serial killer? Again, depends. Aliens from Cloverfield? No, that's scary. Aliens from, say, Close Encounters? Maybe not the worst thing. I mean, they seem nice. E.T.'s family seemed cool. Number 10, if you were in the real-life version of Stephen King's It, would you rather face it as a child or an adult?
Beep, beep, Richie.
Probably as an adult, because that's when they actually take him out. So knowing the story, I guess I'd choose the adult side of that. Seems easier. Would you rather be one of the survivors in Zombieland or 28 Days Later? Zombieland, I guess. Both suck because the zombies are fast.
How many times have I told you that things don't move fast? You're a corpse, for Christ's sakes. If you run that fast, your ankles are gonna snap off.
Oh, she's going fast. I have to go fast. Otherwise, how am I supposed to catch her?
I mean, the movie's funnier, but the situation would suck either way. So it's really a dumb question. Would you rather face off against Jason or Ghostface? Spoiler alert, Ghostface is a person, so my odds are a lot better than a guy that can be blown up and literally come back to life the next film. Would you rather be locked in a haunted insane asylum or lost in the woods with a killer on the loose? Lost in the woods, because there's a chance of getting out. If you're locked in, you're stuck there to face whatever it is that's following you. Let's see. Number 14, would you rather give a ride to The Hitcher or have the guest stay with you? I haven't seen either The Hitcher or The Guest. I've heard good things, but I don't have enough information to answer the question. Would you rather deal with The Blob or The Thing? Man, I'm just revealing how little I've seen. I'm supposed to be an expert. I haven't seen The Blob yet. I can't imagine it's worse than The Thing, but I'll have to see the movie and report back. Would you rather exclusively date people? This is number 16. Would you rather exclusively date people who love horror movies or exclusively date people who are independently wealthy? See, my wife is neither, but I like her, so I guess I'll date her. But if I had to choose for her to be one of those things, I'd rather her be independently wealthy, so that way she can buy me horror movies. She doesn't have to watch them with me, but I can get her to watch some here or there. But I guess independently wealthy. Would you rather have dinner with the number 17? I don't know why I can't remember to number these. Number 17. Would you rather have dinner with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family or Hannibal Lecter? I feel like the question should be: would you rather be dinner for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family or dinner for Hannibal Lecter? I guess with Hannibal Lecter, if I'm having dinner with them, Hannibal Lecter, because on the show Hannibal, he seems to be a great cook.
Before we begin, you must all be warned. Nothing here is vegetarian. Bon appetit.
And if I'm going to eat someone, I'd rather it be prepared by, the master chef that is Hannibal in the show than just drink from someone's head or finger that's being drained into a bucket and just drinking blood. That doesn't sound fun. Number 18, would you rather have your kids love reading scary stories to tell in the dark or a Stephen King book? I haven't read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I've only read a little bit of The Shining. I don't know. I'd be happy for either one if they like horror. Number 19, would you rather guest star on your favorite horror movie, but there's a chance you could die, or stay safe on the couch? It would be awesome to be killed in a horror movie. If it's a guest starring role, that means it's not real. So that's a great role to have. Why would I want to stay on the couch? I would love to be killed by Jason in a Friday the 13th movie. That would be awesome.
Oh, shit. Oh, you want your machete back? Shit, it's yours. Take it. Just remember who saved it for you. Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Number 20, would you rather wake up in the middle of the night to Pennywise or Chucky? Chucky, he seems like, you could throw a box over him and kind of stop him.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
Number 21, would you rather have a pumpkin for a head or knives for hands? Knives for hands. Easy. I don't even need to explain that. Number 22, would you rather watch the tape from The Ring or have to say Candyman in front of a dark mirror? I don't know. I haven't seen Candyman. Again, here it's good. I can't speak to that. Number 23, would you rather be Alfred Hitchcock's production assistant or John Carpenter's? Probably Alfred Hitchcock's production assistant. I'd love to see him work. Would you rather be at a remote cabin and see one of the strangers or one of the guys from Funny Games? Can't speak to those movies either. Number 25, would you rather have Black Phillip for a pet or Cujo? That's a bad situation either way. I guess Cujo. Black Phillip would creep me out a lot more. 26, yeah, I mean, Rabies dog or the devil incarnate. I'm going to take Rabies dog. I feel like better odds. Number 26, would you rather have Tim Curry play Pennywise or Bill Skarsgård? Ooh, yeah, Tim Curry for sure. I really don't like Bill Skarsgård in the movie. I don't know if it's him or if it's all the CG they added to enhance him, quote unquote, enhance him, that looked ridiculous. And I don't get the whole going cross-eyed. That's not scary. Tim Curry did a much better job of playing kind of the creepy clown that would bait in the kids. So he looks friendly at first and goes evil. I feel like Bill Skarsgård's was evil the whole time, and there's no build-up to it.
Hi, Georgie. Aren't you going to say hello? Oh, come on, bucko. Don't you want a balloon?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from the strangers. My dad said so.
Very wise of your dad, Georgie. Very wise indeed. I, Georgie, am Pennywise the Dancing Clown. You are Georgie. So now we know each other. Correct?
I guess so. I gotta go.
Go? Without this?
My goat!
Exactly. Go on, kiddo. Take it. Oh, you want it, don't you, Georgie? Oh, of course you do. And there's cotton candy and rides and all sorts of surprises down here. And balloons, too. All colors.
Do they float?
Oh, yes. They float, Georgie. They float. And when you're down here with me, you float too!
Yeah, Tim Curry for sure. Rather be in an episode of Black Mirror Channel Zero. Black Mirror Channel Zero, that tooth guy. I'm not down for that. Number 28, would you rather move into the house from Sinister or the Amityville Horror? Probably Sinister? I don't know, but if I moved in either one, I'd move out the minute I see anything in either of those. But I guess Sinister, even though they need more lights in that house. Number 29, if you were in a horror movie situation, would you rather have a loaded gun or a car that you knew wouldn't break down? Car, so I can get out of there. Number 30, would you rather have dinner with Stephen King or Wes Craven? Wes Craven for sure. Number 31, would you rather be famous for outsmarting Jigsaw or outsmarting Hannibal Lecter? Hannibal Lecter, less bloodshed on my part, so I'm down for that.
Hello. I'd like to play a game with you.
Number 32, would you rather have an ability to choose which new horror movies get made every year or have an additional 15 years of life? Ooh, is it bad if I say new horror movies? Because I feel like the 15 years of my life, I'm not going to be feeling too good. You know, I can make it to 96, but I'm not going to feel good. I'd rather die at 70 something and have some great new horror movies. But anyway, on to 33. Would you rather meet Bruce Campbell or Bela Lugosi? Bruce Campbell for sure. I watched Ed Wood, and meeting Bela Lugosi is a total downer.
You think it takes talent to play Frankenstein? It's all makeup and then grunting.
Bella, I agree 100%. Now, Dracula, that's a role that requires talent.
Of course. Dracula requires presence. It's all in the eyes and the voice and the head.
That's right. That's right. You seem a little agitated. You want to go outside and get some air?
I'm ready now. Roll the camera.
Bruce Campbell just seems like an awesome guy to grab like a burger with and talk to.
What, you never saw a guy with a chainsaw hand before?
I think that would be groovy. Would you rather put all your enemies at a sleepaway camp for Jason to hunt or in a battle royale situation? Put him in a battle royale situation and watch them just beat each other's brains out. I think that's a much more satisfying thing. And this is a disturbing question in general, and it's disturbing how quickly I thought about the answer. It's more satisfying to see our enemies turn on each other, I guess. Let's see, number 35. Would you rather have $1 million? There's a lot of questions. Wow. Our longest episode is just going to be a would you rather game. Would you rather have $1 million and never be able to watch horror movies again, or have to work 20 hours a week for the rest of your life, but be able to watch horror whenever you wanted? If I'm making enough money from working 20 hours a week to sustain myself and I can watch horror whenever I want, that sounds like a win for me. Because if you're working 20 hours a week, that's a pretty good week. So the second one, I think. Number 36, would you rather watch a new Scream movie or a new Sinister movie? Probably a new Scream movie. Yeah, a new Scream movie.
Are you suggesting that someone's trying to make a real-life sequel?
Stab 2? Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck.
No, come on, man. Oh, please. By definition alone, they're inferior films.
Number 37, would you rather have a zombie apocalypse or The Stand? Oh, no. Why do they keep asking questions about movies I haven't seen? I don't know. I haven't seen The Stand. I have no idea, so I'm going to skip. Number 38, would you rather become a vampire or werewolf? A vampire, because you live forever and you blend in pretty well.
Welcome to Fright Night. For real.
Number 39, would you rather have more haunted house movies or more serial killer movies? Haunted house movies for sure.
And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party.
Number 40, would you rather be visited by the creepy lady from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or the pool monster from Are You Afraid of the Dark? I haven't seen either. Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. Number 41, would you rather have every horror movie scare you so much you couldn't sleep or never be scared by one again? Never be scared by one again because I like sleeping. I don't feel like many horror movies scare me now, but I feel like I enjoy it when one does because it kind of is a surprise. And it's something that's like special. I feel like if every horror movie scared me, regardless of quality, that would be kind of a bummer. Number 42, would you rather have everyone think you were afraid of the dark or actually be afraid of the dark? Probably actually be afraid of the dark because my pride would really take a hit if everyone just assumed I was a coward instead of just doing what I do now and pretending I'm not a coward. Number 43, if you were an Uber driver, would you rather have Jason Voorhees get in your backseat or... And that's the end of the question. So whoever wrote this article for thoughtcatalog.com, I'd love to know what the other option is for having someone get in my backseat. But I'll never know, I guess. Would you rather be a part of the X-Files team or the Ghostbusters team? Ghostbusters. They seem to have a good time. They have a cool theme song.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Would you rather be stuck in the Belko experiment or the house from Don't Breathe? Don't Breathe. If I'm stuck, like how long stuck there? Like overnight? The rest of my life? Because eventually in the Belko experiment, I'm going to die. Don't Breathe, I could kind of set up camp, be super quiet for a long time. You know, but if it's overnight, yeah, that's a tricky one. I don't know. Don't Breathe, I guess. Would you rather direct any horror project you want or have the director of your dreams do it for you? As someone that does video for a living, I'd rather have the director of my dreams do it for me. So that way I could just sit back and enjoy it, because the pressure of directing a Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th that would be too much for me. I'd rather just say, here you go, you take care of it. Now, as for the director of my dreams, that's another question. Who would I have do it? George Romero's up there. Sam Raimi would be up there. Right now it'd probably be James Wan. If I'm going to be honest, I think James Wan. If I could direct it, or James Wan could, I'm going to pick James Wan every time. Number 47, would you rather be stuck in It Follows or just It? I haven't seen It Follows, so I can't comment. I'm skipping again. And everyone's unsubscribing because they're saying I know nothing about horror. Now, if that is what you're thinking, this next question's not going to make you feel any better. Would you rather be in The Family from Frailty or The Family from Get Out? I haven't seen Frailty. Skip. Would you rather be a ghost and haunt anyone you want, or just go to heaven? I'd much rather just go to heaven. Priorities tell me that would be the right place to choose. And number 50, the final question from Miss Erin Cassetta, this author of 50 Would You Rather questions that will drive horror fans crazy on thoughtcatalog.com, is: would you rather survive a horror movie scenario but some of your friends die, or all your friends live but you get killed? I have a family, so sorry friends. I want to survive and get back to my wife and kid. If it means my family dies, or my family lives but I die, and not friends. If it was saying family lives and I die, then I'd pick that. But if it's friends, I'm sacrificing you all so I can survive and get back home to my family. Well, anyway, that's 50 Would You Rather questions that will drive horror fans crazy. I personally don't feel any crazier, but I'm sure for someone it would. If you want to go through this yourself, I'll post a link in the show notes to the article. I thought this would be a fun kind of transitional episode. I can officially give you an update as to what's coming up next on the podcast. We have kind of a episode master list that's coming up. So our next episode is going to be talking about remakes. So that's going to be dropping on, I believe, the 7th of March. In defense of remakes, we're going to be talking about Texas Chainsaw, Amityville Horror, all that good stuff. We'll even be talking about the dreaded Leprechaun movie. Speaking of Leprechaun, on the 14th, we'll be discussing, 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, we'll be discussing the Leprechaun franchise, which I'm super excited about. And then after that, we have a episode devoted to all things Stephen King, and that's going to be a real blast. My guest on that one is super special and related to me, so that's cool. Way down the road, we have two very special guests coming on. I'm not going to give their names yet, but I'm super excited about that. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I hope it was easy listening for you. And man, it's given me some movies to add to my watch list, or at least push them up higher on the list. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I know it was super basic, but it was a fun one to do and kind of an easy one to lay out. So again, thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to leave a honest 5-star review on Apple or on Soundcloud or however you listen to this podcast. I'm currently working on getting on a couple other sites, including Stitcher and Spotify. So at the time it does that and you're listening to this, whatever format, go ahead and leave a 5-star review. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next episode.